What's up, everyone? It's Thursday night. It's the late night agenda. Liverpool have been drawn in a fairly handy, I think it's fair to say, Champions League group. Virgil van Dijk's the best player in Europe. We already knew that. There's lots and lots for us to get through tonight, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for being patient with me for being a minute or two late. In full disclosure, the reason I'm a minute or two late is I was shaving my bald ass head and I got a new blade on it and I nicked my head and I had to wait for the bleeding to stop. Not joking. That's genuinely why I'm late for the stream. How are we? I hope we're all keeping well. So much to get through. Liam Barr said, where is he? Fuck's sake, mate. Give me a minute. Do you know what I mean? I'm a human being as well with a life, pal. I had to stop the bleeding on the old noggin before I could come on. Bet you that's one of the weirdest intros anyone's ever had to a stream. I hope we're all keeping well. How are we? I've lowered my microphone volume down a little bit that I hope will... I listen back to a few streams. I think I can be a bit loud at times. So I've lowered it down a little bit, hoping that saves a few eardrums. Of course, City got an easy group, said Bradley. Look, mate, they always get easy groups. That's don't worry about it. But they usually get knocked out in the old knockout stages and don't go too far. So look, I wouldn't worry about Manchester City. Look, I'll wait for the chat to fill up. There's loads to get through. I've got the fixtures, I've got the dates, I've got everything for you ready to go. Connor sent me something before we came out about Bobby Duncan as well, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. How the hell are we? Are we happy with the group? Said Daniel Williams. I am, mate. I'm a bit of a sadist when it comes to stuff like this. I would have liked a more difficult group for Liverpool. I would have liked, say, a Real Madrid or a couple. Look, Napoli are a good side, don't get me wrong, and we'll go through the draw in detail. So for those asking, the draw did take place today. I'm sure you all know the group at this point, but just in case you don't, Liverpool have been drawn in a group with Napoli, Salzburg and Genk. I don't know what you think about that, ladies and gents. It's up to us to, I suppose, have a little chat about it and see the fuck you're feeling. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I'm trying to make sure that my head isn't still bleeding here. Sorry, head bleeding and all that stuff. Craig Crosby said, evening Craig, 7 times baby. Brought somebody to say hi. So just a little something to say hi to everybody. How are we? 60 came in. You felt a bit left out today, she did. She said to me, Craig, Van Dijk's getting awards left, right and centre. Defender of the year, the whole shebang. And I said, you know what, I'll bring you on just to say hello to everybody. So 60 says hello. Hope you're all feeling well. I'll put you back over there, 60. We'll get to you in a little bit. Wonderful draw, said Anthony Harris. What's the day for the matches? I will go through that. I'm just waiting here to see... I'm watching the Rangers game. Sorry, I have the Rangers game on to see how Stevie G's getting on. It was 0-0 going into the last couple of minutes here of that tie. 0-0 on aggregate. Right, let me go through the fixtures for those of you wondering. So, we start off our campaign with a difficult trip over to Naples to face Napoli. Tuesday, September the 17th. Liverpool travel over to Naples to face Napoli. Wednesday, October the 7th, the Reds are home to Salzburg. Wednesday, the 23rd of October, Liverpool are away to Genk. Then Tuesday, November the 5th, the Reds are home to Genk. Wednesday, November 27th, Liverpool are home to Napoli. And our final group game is away against Salzburg. You absolute fucking dancer. Sorry, Morelos just scored the last minute for Rangers, and the reason I'm happy about that is it's the last part of a bet I have on Morelos to score and Rangers to win. Little accumulator. Do you know what I mean? You love to see it, don't you? They better fucking hold on now. You love to see it. How are we? Look, as I said, difficult one. From my point of view and Connor's point of view, we will be over in Tampa for the game against Napoli on September the 17th. We'll be meeting up with the good folks of the Tampa Bay OLSC. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. I've got my phone open, I've got the stream open. I'm trying to keep everything up to date. 1-0 Rangers, said fuck 'em, mate. And that's what I was checking. That's what I was looking at. Morelos scores it as well. You love to see it. Do I have Morelos from Football Index, said Connor. No, I don't, Connor. I don't have Morelos from Football Index. I probably should, you know. I probably should have him on Football Index. We'll have a chat about that later on. Am I doing a watch along for the game at home to Napoli? The home game, yes. The away game, no, because we'll be over in Florida for that one. How do you think we'll do in Naples? Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question, B3. I have so much to get through on tonight's stream. I'm very rarely overawed when I start a stream, but there's so much to get through that I'm trying to just calm myself. How do I think we'll get on in Naples? It's going to be a difficult game, mate. It's going to be a difficult game. Somebody pointed out to me that last season we didn't even get a shot on target over in Naples. Now, I can't remember. You know my memory at this point. It's shocking. I can't remember how we got on over there, except that we lost to a late goal. But other than that, I don't really remember too much about the game in Naples. It's a difficult start, but it's probably good to get the first one out of the way, the most difficult one out of the way. If we can pick up a point in Naples, 3 points would be even better, of course. But I take a point at this moment in time. The rest of the group, you'd expect us to finish top. You would. Look, being respectful to the clubs that are in it. Salzburg are no mugs. I'm expecting difficult enough games against Salzburg. But other than that, I mean, you got to be happy with that group, ladies and gents, don't you? Anybody, do you want me to run through the fixtures again? If there's anything like that, please just let me know. Happy to go through them. Eric Cantona's speech was superb. Yeah, see, I don't know about that. And I have to be honest here. I've said this to Connor. Full disclosure, he's one of my favourite ever players. I love Eric Cantona. I hate the fact that he played for United. But as a man, as a footballer, I love the brashness. I love the arrogance. I love the way he played the game. I wonder, is he just trying a little bit too hard with the speeches at this point? And I don't want to be critical of the man because I love the fact that he's an enigma and he's a bit mad and he says strange things. But I just wonder, is he trying a little bit too hard? I know coming from me, that's a bit of fucking hypocrisy of the highest order. Can you put a link in the description for the groups? That's a Connor Crosby question, Colin, and he is in the chat, so maybe Connor can sort that out for you. When were the fixtures released? 9 o'clock, Arnav. 9 o'clock. I just got them before I came on. I just about had time. Just to go through them again for people coming in a little bit late. Liverpool start with a difficult away trip against Napoli on September the 17th. Our next game, October the 2nd, is a home against Salzburg. October 23rd, the Reds travel over to Belgium to face Genk. And then November the 5th, Liverpool are home. The fixtures are reversed against Genk. November 27th, Liverpool are home to Napoli. And December the 10th, we finish up with an away trip to Salzburg. So, yeah, how do we feel about it? I mean, this is your show, ladies and gents. Let me know. Boya said Morelos looks a good player. He really does. It's just a matter of his attitude. But as a player, he does look a very good player. Obviously, we've got Virgil van Dijk was named UEFA Men's Player of the Year as well, and UEFA Defender of the Year. Not to be forgetting Alisson Becker, who was named the Goalkeeper of the Year for UEFA. Frankie de Jong won the Midfielder of the Year award, and Lionel Messi was, of course, named the Forward of the Year. So, again, I want to get your thoughts on all those things as well. Stephen Richard said, Eric Cantona, you can't fuck off. I mean, push the United stuff aside, mate. He is a bit of an enigma. As a Norwegian, I'm happy with Genk and Salzburg, said Maul. Yeah, not too far for you to travel, mate. I'd imagine that's possible for you to get to those games, maybe. Somebody messaged us earlier on to say they only live 15 minutes away from Salzburg, or Genk, I think it was. So they were delighted about that, which is, or 15 miles maybe away from Genk. Craig Crosby said 18 points. Methinks greedy, mate. I like it. 18 points. Nah, I don't think we'll get 18 points, if I'm being honest about it. So I'm still keeping one eye on this Rangers game. How much injury time is it? The 6 minutes played so far. Surely there couldn't be too much more for them. 15 minutes drive from my home in Netherlands at Sarabia. There you go. Absolutely quality. Quality. You're going to go? You're going to try and get a ticket for the game? Adam Park said, don't care about the group. It just shows how we'll win number 7. Yeah, I know what you mean. It almost gets to a point where you're greedy and you're looking past the group stages, and we shouldn't be doing that. But it's natural, isn't it? It is natural to look past the group stages and go, who will we get in the knockout? So Rangers have won 1-0. That game is now complete. And Craig wins his accumulator. You love to see it, don't you? You love to see it. Good evening, Craig. How are you doing? I'm doing very well now, thanks, Dylan, that I got a few bob in the bank there with that bet. That really does help. Salzburg's a great place to visit in general, said Peter van der Schaans, and you're not the first person to say that to me, Peter. Our friend Stephen Richard earlier on said very similar, and my wife had nothing but good things to say about her time in Austria as well. Genk's a good team, said Yarn. I've got to be honest, mate, of the 3 teams in our group outside of Liverpool, they're the one that I know very little about, and I really have to do some research on them. 60, do you know anything about them? 60 said that they're alright, like, don't overlook them, but it's the Champions League. If you get into the Champions League, you got to have something about you. Stephen Booker dropping a bit of knowledge on us all. Salzburg, the home of Mozart. There you go. Only fitting then that our front 3 should go to the city, the home of Mozart, and make some beautiful music together. Oh, I know. I'll call a taxi myself. The state of that. Will you be going to any of the Euro games next year in Dublin? Possibly, Fran. Possibly. Hopefully media pass wise, but yeah, maybe, you never know. Connor Crosby said, every group's an easy group when you're undisputed champions of fucking Europe. Exactly, mate. Champions of Europe, super champions of Europe, could be champions of the world in December. Joseph said, first game is crucial. We want to be comfortable going into November. I hear you, pal. I absolutely hear where you're coming from. Obviously, December, a busy month as well. And the final game away at Salzburg, it would be nice to have it tied up before the Reds, have to get into that busy Christmas period. John Mack said, Istanbul 2005 and now 2019, 2020 winners. 15 years it will be since the Reds won the Ataturk Stadium in 2005. It would be nice to go back there in 2020, wouldn't it, and lift number 7. Look, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. A long way to go. I was really excited for that group stage today, for the draw. And I was even more nervous when Virgil van Dijk's main award came up. I thought it was nailed on that he'd win Defender of the Year, but it was it was fucking refreshing to see Ronaldo win fuck all. I'm not gonna lie. It was nice to sit back and see Ronaldo just have to sit there and just, be in awe of Messi and Virgil van Dijk. That's a 15-pointer, that group, said Stephen Richards. I get that, yeah. I think let me see this. 1, 4, and 12. I reckon 14 points, Stephen. I reckon 14 points could be possible out of that group. 2 draws, 4 wins, job's a good one. Callum said, Craig, we've Napoli away in the 17th. I know, mate. I went through the fixtures earlier on. So that will be a game that we will be over in Florida for. So we'll be visiting Tampa for that one. Really looking forward to that. Elizabeth Walker said, Istanbul, 7, baby. If we win 7, do we rename 60 70, or do I have to go and buy a full-scale one? I will do what I'm told, as always on the channel, and please let the answer be get your ass to go and buy a full scale one, because then my wife can't give out to me. The only reason I had to buy El Mini 60 there is because she wouldn't let me buy the full scale version. I know, you think she'd love me after all this time. Nah, to be fair, they're quite fucking expensive. What's happening, Mark? Me and lots, mate. We've lots to get through on this stream as well. I've still got my team selection and the score prediction for the Burnley game to come up as well. So I've got an image ready for that. Mr. Crosby has an image ready for that one as well. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming up later on in the stream as well. We'll talk more about the whole Bobby Duncan situation, which has calmed down a little bit today. I think it's fair to say. I was trying to find the right phrase there, but I think calm down is the right way to go into that one. Mr. Crosby said, Man City, Barca, Liverpool seem to be the bookies' favourites in that order. They never learn, Connor, do they? They never fucking learn. Every year for the past 2 or 3 years, City have been favourites, and they've never justified it. We'll just go about our business though. And look, I don't want to be talking about Manchester City. That's not what I want to be doing on this stream. I want to be talking about the Reds. Stephen Richards said, you'll have to buy a big one. You're right, mate, aren't you? When you're right, Stephen. Eviano said, Craig, big tussle between players at the end of the Rangers game. I'll watch that back later on, mate. Yeah, late goal to put them through. Anyone see the Morelos goal? Was it a decent strike? I didn't get to see it. I just, seen it pop up here on the phone. Elliot said, Man City, easy group again. Yeah, but there's some travelling in there. And that's one thing we haven't actually mentioned about our group. Travel-wise, Jurgen Klopp and those players, and the fans, of course, the travelling cop, it's quite handy. It's not bad. What are you looking at? Italy, Austria, Belgium. Fairly handy there. Yeah, not too bad. No long distances, no Eastern European flights. If memory serves me correct, City got Shakhtar in their group, didn't they? I can't even remember their group off the top of my head. So yes, they've got Shakhtar in their group, I think. So that's a long flight. And we have none of that, which does come into it as well. We got to be fair about this. Our group, I'm happy with it. I honestly, I'm happy with that group. How much is the full scale 60? Oh God, off the top of my head, I think about £500, something like that, mate. Off the top of my head, I don't have the prices on me, but I think it's around £500 for the full scale version of the quality one I have. You could probably buy cheaper ones, but this is a proper, yeah, good quality trophy. So I think it was about £500 for the full scale one, and that's pound sterling, which is about £580, something like that in euro. Deepest sympathies to Lewis Enrique and his family. Malcolm, I'm behind on that, mate. What happened? It's yeah, sorry, mate. I don't know what happened. Bernadette Farrell said, Messi and Ronaldo were so rude to Virgil, plus the presenter. I was fuming until Virgil got the main award. I'm with you, Bernadette. It was like, let's have a love in to Messi and Ronaldo, and we'll leave the winner, the guy who actually had the greatest season of them all, sitting over there on the side. But Virgil didn't care. He's calm as you like. Do you know what I mean? Just give me the fucking awards and let me get on with it. That's what Virgil's probably saying. Travelling can be hard on players, said Fran. 100%, mate. Totally agree with you. As soon as we got Napoli, I was happy because we couldn't get Inter, said Mark Meehan, which is another, and Atalanta. It's a good point, Mark. Where do I get one of those trophies from? I got this, mate, from J&S Trophies. If you want to email me, I'll happily send you the link, buddy. Man City have Shakhtar 3 years in a row. That is nuts, isn't it? That is nuts. I didn't realise that, Matt. That is nuts, Callum. I had to get treatment for... Oh, Shakhtar. You're a bad man, Happily Eggs. We can easily win all those games, said Casper. Oh, well, I wouldn't say easily, mate. Travelling over to Naples isn't going to be an easy trip. Oh, Luis Enrique's daughter died. Oh my goodness, that is genuinely so sad. And 9-year-old daughter's died from cancer. Well, as you pointed out, mate, condolences to Luis Enrique and his family. I cannot imagine what it must be like to lose a daughter that young of cancer. Honestly, nothing but love. I know nothing I say can make a difference, but that yeah, it's tremendously sad. It really is, and love to Luis Enrique, obviously, and his family. Viano said, Craig, don't have the Athletic subscription. What did JP say in Bobby Duncan? I don't have it either. Why would I pay? I'm not having a go with the Athletic, but I've no subscription to the Athletic. I've no idea what Piercy said about the Bobby Duncan matter because, as I said, I don't have the subscription. Surely Messi and Ronaldo only have 4 years max at the top of the game. I would imagine Messi may have a couple more years. Obviously, I think he is. Is he 2 years younger than Cristiano? Loads of people obsessed with City's easy group. Don't worry about it. Let them have their easy group. Ours isn't the hardest, to be fair, but it's about the knockout stages. That's when the real business of the Champions League goes. Isn't it February, I think, the knockout stages? That's when it really heats up. I think the travel aspect is overrated, said Arnav. Players just sit in first class economy and sleep or relax. It's not a difficult journey. Well, it is, mate, and it's for a couple of reasons. It disrupts their recovery. It disrupts their sleep patterns. Depending on how far they have to travel through different time zones. Now, I know often when football teams travel, they don't change their time zone. Like, they don't change their watches. They stay on English time. And it depends on if they're home or away when they come back, buddy, as well. So let's say, for instance, you have a Wednesday game away at Shakhtar, and you come back then and you've got a Saturday early morning kickoff. So you're getting back in early Thursday morning. You've got to recover, and then you've got maybe a bit of travelling to do to go down to the other end of England for a game. I mean, I'm not saying it's a massive thing, but it's definitely a consideration, mate. Anthony Harris said, not much changed. Liverpool are still third favourites, gone from 7-1 to 13-2. Lash the money on them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying telling anybody to bet here, but they're decent odds. I might even have a flutter on that myself. Speaking of flutters, as Connor said earlier on, Connor has now expanded his portfolio on Football Index. He sent me some stuff earlier on. I'll do a little bit later on in the stream, but don't forget, if you are interested in signing up to Football Index and helping out Anfield Agenda, there is a link in the description below, and also use the code AA when you sign up, and that will get you the benefits we spoke about before. 10% on player purchases in your first month. It'll get you that protection of covering your losses up to £1,000 in the first month. And also, it is important for me to point out, this is a gambling product, 18 plus, UK and Irish residents only, and begambleaware.org is there if you have any issues around gambling. Let me know though if anybody has signed up, and I know Craig Adams has been playing it for a while and doing quite well, I think, mate. I've been doing really well, I'm not going to lie. He's playing safe, that's all I'm going to say. Connor Crosby is playing safe on Football Index. I chance it a little bit more. I go for the younger players and hope to reap the rewards going forward. Connor's going for the big boys. He's back in the what's the phrase I'm looking for here? The stallions, and hoping that they continue a steady progression. Playing safe. I mean, there's the difference. I'm a chancer and Connor is Mr. Safe, so kind of works out well for us as a combined unit when it comes to doing stuff on here. Because if I had my way, my God, ladies and gentlemen, some of the shit I've pitched to Connor and he's gone, really, mate? Really? Relax. Right, here we go. Is Croatia a long travel? God, I was in Yugoslavia in Porek, which is now Croatia, but I was about 10, mate, at the time. I can't remember how long the travelling was. Burnley can also fuck off, said Stephen Richards. Oh, mate, I'm really looking forward to that game at the weekend. I want to get to the Bobby Duncan stuff for a minute, though. So, and we'll talk about the Gareth Southgate calling up Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. So, Connor sent me an image earlier on just to show me that Bobby Duncan has in fact added the Liverpool stuff back into his social media profiles. I know on Twitter anyway, he definitely has Liverpool image. He definitely has Liverpool in his header and stuff like that. So, a little bit of sensible stuff going on there from Bobby Duncan. We know about his agent. His agent has removed himself from Twitter. His account is gone. I would have rather Twitter closed down his account after some of the homophobic, sexist and disgusting tweets that had been uncovered by the amazing people on Liverpool football Twitter. Big shout out to those guys. You don't fuck with Liverpool fans. You just don't do it. You should know what's coming in if you poke Liverpool and poke their fans and have a go at Michael Edwards. I mean, as Cara pointed out, why the fuck would this man have a go at the second most powerful man at the club after Jurgen Klopp? It was only going to end one way. This guy shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be near our sport. The state of him, there was a write-up in GQ magazine about him. And I can't remember the exact phraseology, but it was something like your reputation is your currency. Something along those lines he was saying. His reputation's in tatters, and it deserves to be in tatters because he looks like an absolute shithouse of a human being. Bobby Duncan, on the other hand, look, Bobby Duncan's a young man. Bobby Duncan has a whole career ahead of him. I don't want to talk about what he did or didn't do right or wrong. I just genuinely do hope that if he's suffering with any anxiety or depression or anything like that, that he gets the help that he needs, and I'm sure the club will support him in that as well, and his family will support him, and I'm sure that he's got some loving people around him. So I'm not having a dig at Bobby Duncan here. My issue in this has always been with the agent and his unnecessary attack on Liverpool Football Club, calling them bullies, calling them liars. It's despicable. He's also guided Saido Berahino's career, which is, it tells you a lot. You know what I mean? Saido Berahino has been advised incorrectly a lot of the time. He also said, I want to get this correct 1 second. I think I sent this to Connor. I want to pull up an image here because I want to read it out to you and see what you guys think. So when Saido Berahino was having trouble and he moved to Stoke, the headline was, Berahino was victim at West Brom. So there you go. Much like at Liverpool, blaming the Bobby Duncan situation, saying Liverpool were bullying him, Liverpool weren't treating him fairly. Same type of tactic, it seems, inside of Berahino wanted to move from West Brom to Stoke. There you go. The man doesn't seem to be of the right calibre, shall we say, to be involved in the football industry. Craig, if my reputation's my currency, I'm fucked at Stephen Richards. So am I, mate. I'm with you. The Bobby Duncan's agent was not the agent for Saido Berahino. Did Bobby Duncan? He was, mate. I'm looking at it like literally here. There he is with Saido Berahino. Craig, what's the furthest way for us to travel in the group? I don't know, mate. Where's the furthest? Italy? Probably Napoli. Can't wait for Salzburg, my home city, said Max. Nice one, buddy. Enjoy. Domestic butler, love to Luis Enrique and his family. I echo those sentiments, of course. He sounds like an idiot, said Boya. Yeah, he does. I mean, there's WhatsApp messages doing the rounds, voice notes of him and a lady, and I'm not going to share them on the stream, but they are easy to find if you want to go on. They're actually on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. You can have a look on there. He just seems like an absolute tool, and I hope, from what I understand, Bobby Duncan changed his agent last year, and this guy is part of the team that looks after him. He needs to get away from him. He really does. He needs to just... Oh, God. Who am I to be discussing this and really telling Bobby Duncan what he should do? But this guy just seems to be a piece of work. Have you seen Liverpool's new blackout kit? It's awesome. I've ordered it, Gary. I've ordered it, mate. I should be getting it on Monday. It was supposed to be Friday, but I got an email from the courier company today to say it was a little delay, but it is on the way. And yeah, mate, I'm getting one. If there's any Irish people and they want to look at that blackout kit and you're thinking of getting it, Lifestyle Sports earlier on still had them in large and extra large and one other size that I can't remember off the top of my head. So if there's any Irish Reds out there, it's €90 on Lifestyle Sports, so it ain't cheap, but it was available a few hours ago on there if you want to check it up. What happened with Luis Enrique? Dagsy, unfortunately, mate, his 9-year-old daughter passed away after an illness, I believe cancer, from what people in the chat were saying, and nothing but love to Luis Enrique and his family. I can't imagine the pain that they must be going through losing a child like that. Genuinely, nothing but love. Napoli away is a massive test. They have Insigne, Mertens and Lozano. Yeah, it's going to be fun. In a good way, Callum. 2 games against Napoli again will be interesting, competitive games. And I want a little bit of revenge after pre-season. I know pre-season means nothing, but I didn't like the manner of that defeat. Brian Morris, he said, Casper wasn't disagreeing, he was just seeking confirmation. Sorry, mate, it was just the way the comment was worded. Didn't mean to have a go, Casper, buddy. You know I love you. I was just, I wasn't sure about the way it was worded. Sorry, mate, my bad. If Bobby Duncan has mental problems, how can it possibly be good for him to be splashed all over the media? You'll never walk alone. Let's support him. I get you. Anthony, I second exactly what you said there. Fully behind. If Bobby Duncan has mental health issues, he deserves time, patience, love, kindness and help, of course. I also didn't like the way his agent dropped Stevie Gerrard's name into there unnecessarily, like completely unnecessarily. Bobby Duncan should sack his agent, said fuck him. I would be of the same mindset, but there you go. What's the group of death this year? There's a couple, mate. There's a few really difficult groups in there. Let me just pull the groups up for you. I don't have them on my phone, so let me just open them up here. I can't get that bring on your international ally. Right, so here we go. One of the groups that looks really difficult is Group D. Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen and Lokomotiv Moscow. Then you've got Group F, Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter Milan and Slavia Prague. And did you guys see the face on the Slavia Prague representatives when their name came out of the draw into that group? It was comical. It was one of the moments of, apart from Van Dijk winning the Player of the Year award, that was one of the moments. Actually, do you know what? Chelsea's group looks tricky enough. I'm not saying it's the most difficult group, but it's tricky enough. So Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia and Lille. Stephen Richards said, Craig, if I was on 7k a week, I'd have problems. I think he's on 15k a week, if memory serves me, for Bobby Duncan. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure I read somewhere it was 15k. But money shouldn't really matter. Money, if you've got mental health issues or you've got depression, money doesn't come into the equation. I mean, having wealth doesn't make a difference. You could be in the best circumstances in life, professional footballer, earning loads of money, and mental health issues, depression, it can affect any of us at any time. I think Barca, Dortmund, Inter and Slavia Prague easily, says Arnold. It's a tasty group, buddy, isn't it? It is a tasty group. I'll run through all the groups for you while we're talking about them. So Group A, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Club Brugge, obviously Simon Mignolet's new club, and Galatasaray. Group B, Bayern Munich, Spurs, Olympiacos and Red Star Belgrade. A tricky trip, as we know too well, for Spurs over to Red Star, and of course Bayern Munich as well, home and away for them. Group C is Manchester City's group. Manchester City have Shakhtar Donetsk. Oh my god, Shakhtar. I'm just going with Shakhtar. What is it about me and pronunciations? If I overthink it, I absolutely make a mess of it. So City have Shakhtar. They've got Dynamo Zagreb and Atalanta of Italy. Group D, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen and Lokomotiv Moscow. Then Group B, obviously Liverpool's group, consists of us, Napoli, Salzburg and Genk. Group F, Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter Milan and Slavia Prague. Group H, Zenit St. Petersburg, Benfica, Lyon and Leipzig. That's a tricky enough group, and weirdly, I think teams in pot 3 and 4 of that group are probably the favourites to go through. And then Group H, Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia and Lille. So there you go. That's all the groups for the Champions League this year. Callum said PSG versus Real Madrid is a good non-Liverpool game to watch. Yeah, there is a few. There's a few really good games there to watch. And I think myself and Connor will be sitting down on match day 1, obviously with the good folks of Tampa for the watch along at the meet-up. But then the day after we'll probably watch the Wednesday games over in Florida as well. Craig, I hope our security for the game versus Napoli at home up after what happened to Sean Cox. Yeah, but that was Roma, Scotty, and it bears no... I mean, you can't... I know you're not trying to, mate. I know this isn't your intention, but you can't tar all teams with the one brush. That was a couple of idiots from Roma. You can't really blame that on Napoli, to be fair. Group H looks fiery, said Luke. It does, mate. There are some tasty, tasty groups in there. And for the English clubs, they've done alright, actually. They weren't the worst draw for the English clubs. Bernadette said maybe Bobby should go on loan to Rangers and let Stevie guide him and school him against the Sharks. He brought Kent on. When you said Bobby, Bernadette, I was thinking about Firmino. I was like, why on earth would we let Bobby Firmino go? Took me a minute to understand you were talking about Bobby Duncan. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the young man. I want him to be okay first and foremost, and after that, I mean, the club will make a decision on what way his career or where his career goes. Dave said Napoli away is the key game. It's the first one, but it would be nice to... I'd take a point if it was on offer right now for the first game against Napoli. But you want the 3. You want to be greedy, don't you? Mark Meehan, mate, your auntie passed away today. You said you've got to travel down to Cork at 1:30. Mate, love to you and your family. I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your auntie. From everybody in the stream, mate, lots of love. Joseph said, love the streams. Thank you so much, mate. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. If you are like Joseph, mate, and you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that subscribe button, ladies and gent, and give us a thumbs up on the stream. Boya said, interested to see how Ajax got on this year. Yes, mate, it will be. Obviously, they lost a few players. They lost De Jong. They lost De Ligt. Did anybody else really major move on from Ajax? I can't remember. But yeah, it will be interesting to see. Peter van der Shan said Ajax are 100 to 1. 100 to 1. I wouldn't put my money on them personally, but they are very generous odds for a team that got to the semi-final last year. Are you doing a watch along when you're in Florida? No, I don't think we'll have the bandwidth to be able to do it, mate. We will be uploading content when we're over there, discussing the games and stuff like that, but we won't be doing the usual watch alongs because we just won't have strong enough internet to do it. It takes a lot of upload speed and a lot of memory on the computers and stuff to upload live content like this to the internet. So no, I don't think we'll be able to do it when we're over there, unfortunately. But we will be putting up content around our trip and about the games and stuff like that. Dortmund for the past 3 years had one of the toughest groups, said Dylan Margin. Yeah, they did. 4 away games in a row. Napoli, Chelsea, MK Dons and Sheffield United, said Nay. Thank you. I didn't get time to look into how it interacted with the other fixtures, buddy. So thank you so much for coming on and letting us know that. 4 in a row. Napoli, Chelsea, MK Dons, Sheffield United. Yeah, that's not an easy 4 games in a row, is it? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we manoeuvre the squad for those. What do I think of hashtag Mbappe 2020? Keeping fingers crossed, Jack. Whether it be Mbappe, whether it be Havertz, or whether it be maybe Sancho. As I said all summer, I'm expecting us to do big things next year. What do you think of Steven Gerrard getting Rangers to the Europa League group stage? It's probably a bare minimum, to be fair, Scott. He should be getting them to the group stage. It'll be interesting to see how they get on when, you know, they're trying to chase down to Celtic in the league as well, and they've got Thursday, Sunday games, as Celtic will do. They went through. Wolves went through as well. Congratulations to Wolves. Yeah, I think it's probably what Stevie expected, Scott. Yeah, I'm genuinely intrigued to see the battle between Celtic and Rangers this year. As I said before, I've no allegiance to either club. Just from a footballing perspective, it'll be interesting to watch. And of course, I want Stevie's managerial career to go well wherever he is, because it's Steven Gerrard. The Cop Council said 4 of our players in the top 10 today. Wonder how many players will be in the top 20. I don't know, mate. It's a fair point. Just to run through as well for people that are joining us late and may have missed it earlier on. There was awards given out today, and obviously Virgil van Dijk won the all-around UEFA Men's Player of the Year award. Congratulations to him. But Alisson Becker won the Goalkeeper of the Year award, so well done to him. Virgil van Dijk also added the Defender of the Year award to his Player of the Year award, and he is the first defender in the history of the award to win it, and I think the first the first person from the English League, I should say, to win that award as well. I think somebody said that to me earlier on. I hope that's right. Midfielder of the year went to Frankie de Jong, now of Barcelona, formerly of Ajax, and Forward of the year went to Lionel Messi. So congratulations to everybody on their awards today. Whatever you think about them, these are the winners, and I think I'm just relieved that Virgil van Dijk won the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award. And was it Lucy Bronze, I think, won the female award as well, so congratulations to her. Happily Egg said, I've been trying to sell Bobby Duncan to United for 25 million. They're short up front. Their fans don't appreciate the humour. Yeah, Sanchez sealed his loan move to Inter Milan as well. That's gone through. And remember, somebody said to me last night, I can't remember who it was, so if you're watching, please do let yourself be known. You asked about Dejan Lovren to Roma. I did look, and there was renewed interest from Roma in Lovren, but Chris Smalling looks like he's going to Roma on loan. Chris fucking Smalling. That is madness. No, I'm not singing it again. Connor's putting in the lyrics that he's our centre half. He is our centre half, mate. Connor, I was thinking, when we're going on the plane and I'm going to bring Sixie over to Florida with me, do you think they'd let me do a Jordan Henderson on the plane and put this little motherfucker on the floor in front of me and rest my feet on it? Although there won't be enough space, but it'd be a nice photo, wouldn't it? To sit in the front seats of the plane or something and take a photo of my feet on the L60 here. Be a nice little memento. Mark Mean said Lucy Bronze is actually a decent player. When I watched the odd game of the World Cup, I thoroughly enjoyed the Women's World Cup, mate. I thought it was great. I thought the officiating in it was outstanding as well. It was you about Lovren Casper. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I remembered somebody said it to me last night, and you were right. I did look up, and there was renewed interest in him. I think there was talk of a 15 million quid deal, but then today I got up and looked at Sky Sports, and it looked like Smalling was on his way to Roma. Connor said yes, it needs to be done. It'd be fucking class, wouldn't it? I only thought of that there this minute when I was looking at the trophy. Throw a stone out of the plane and see if it hits somebody. That's mean. Why would I do that? That's horrible. What's the point of Ronaldo being there? Surely you have to win Player of the Year in your position to win the main Player of the Year award. They may as well just have the 4 winners of their position. It's a fair point, Jack. I get where you're coming from, mate. I suppose it's just to keep the intrigue going, and so people don't know. But I think once Messi won the Forward of the Year, yeah, it was kind of clear that it was going to be either Messi, Alisson, well, Messi or Van Dijk, sorry, because they were two of the final 3. But yeah, you're right. I get where you're coming from. I was just happy to see Ronaldo get fuck all and just sit there. It was I'm a bit sad, but it made me smile. It took Adrian 9 days to win a trophy. Everton haven't won anything since 1995, said Stephen Richards. Do you know what I mean, Stephen? When you're right, pal. Connor said, any metal in your luggage, sir? Pulls out Champions League trophy. Nah, mate, I'm going balls out. I'm thinking of getting a chain and hanging 60 from the chain and walking through the airport. Fucking Flava Flav style with 60 hanging from a neck. What's the line? Watch out for the medallions. My diamonds are reckless. Feels like a midget is hanging from a necklace. There you go. Just have that on. There's a... Can you imagine walking through Dublin Airport with this little trophy hanging around your neck on a chain? On a bicycle chain as well, just to make it even more fucking balls out. I don't have the key. I can't take it off. Pull it over your head. I can't do that, mate. I don't know how to. Hosto said, to be fair, I think Messi should have won. Nah, not this year, buddy. Honestly. All due respect to Lionel Messi, the greatest player of my generation, and love him to death as a footballer, but this year I genuinely believe Virgil van Dijk deserved that award. Putting aside my Liverpool bias, hand on heart, mate, I really feel he earned it. But look, your opinion was that Messi earned it, and your opinion is to be respected as well. Subi said, Craig, if you notice, all United players going to Italy for a move away from Old Trafford. Yeah, there's a few of them, hasn't there? Lukaku, Smalling, Sanchez. Maybe, have I missed somebody else as well? Nay said, did a job for an Everton fan at work today, mentioned I support Liverpool, pulled a face, and then I raved about Digne. Bizarre. Or then he raved about Digne. To be fair, but Lucas Digne's free kick was nice for Everton last night in the Emmerdale Cup, but it was a nice strike, to be fair. Kloppo's at the wheel. Tell me how good does it feel? Fucking brilliant. Fuck it, mate. It's brilliant. So Heather said, did you see the dad who told his kid that if Liverpool won the Champions League, he'd decorate his kid's bedroom in all Liverpool merchandise? I didn't, Heather, but that is a beautiful story, and I hope the father followed through. And well, he would have, of course, because no father's going to say that to the child and then not do it. Do it great gangster style. Can you imagine that, rocking up to Dublin Airport, bicycle chain on, 60 hanging from the neck? What's up, motherfuckers? I'm here. Is this your trophy, sir? Indeed it is, young man. Indeed it is. Messi is a big fish in a crap league. He is. Look, we can say what we want about Messi. The man is a wizard. Absolute superstar of a footballer. Digne is a B-Tech Origi. Everyone's a B-Tech Origi. You're right, mate. When you're right, you're right. Not just even playing a similar position, but he is a B-Tech Origi. Derry Airport is handier. Not for me, mate. When I live in Wexford, Derry Airport is absolutely not handier. Particularly when you're flying to Florida. Well, we're flying to Atlanta first and then to Florida. What do you think of the Rangers score and would our fellow Morelos fit in this Liverpool side? I often wonder about Morelos and that next step, because his talent is unquestionable. The man knows where the goal is. It's just a matter of whether he can keep his punch on for a red card under control, because the man does get involved in a lot of stuff. Jay said, nice group. Wouldn't be surprised if we drop a couple of points against Napoli, but I think we'll have enough to top the group. So do I, Jay. Especially with a large goal difference against Genk and Salzburg at home. As I said, though, Salzburg are a decent team. I mean, I would expect us to beat them, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. He says this, watch us go and batter them 7-0 or something now, so I look like a fool, but happy to look like a fool if that's the case. LFC 1892 said La Liga is a great league. Yeah, it is. I enjoy La Liga, mate. If I was to rank the leagues, and I'm not ranking them from like what I think is the best league to worst league, but the leagues I enjoy watching, I would say Premier League, the Bundesliga, and then La Liga, and then after that, whatever, Serie A, whatever. But yeah, they would be my favourite 3 leagues to watch football in. Bassett12 said, I'm sad we let Moreno go. He was our best left back. Mate, I don't know if you're on a wind up, but he was dog shit. Is dog shit. Will always be dog shit. Has no brain. Has a great engine. A good left foot. But no defensive awareness. No positional awareness. And I am glad we've got rid of Alfredo Morelos, I was going to say. Alberto Moreno. Nothing against the dude, but he's shite. He's not our best left back. That's a very strange comment when you've got Andy Robertson at your club, mate. We wiped 7 million off Ronaldo sponsorship deals today. Well, when I say we, Big Verge means happily eggs. Who said that? Messi is quality, and yes, he could do it on a Tuesday night at Stoke. Messi's brilliant. I'm not going to question Messi's ability. As I said many, many times, he is the greatest player of my generation. I say my because I can only speak from my point of view. Peter van der Shan said Messi or Maradona. Now that's a tough one. It is a tough one. It really is a tough one. They are the top 2 on my list, mate. Those 2. God, I don't know, you know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Diego Armando Maradona was sensational. His career was ending just as I was getting into football. Like, I caught the tail end of his career. I don't really include USA 94 because that was a coked up Diego Maradona, not the 1986 Mexico Diego Maradona. What date are we going to Florida? We are going on Friday, September the 13th. So Friday the 13th we're flying out. Typical of us. Messi because Maradona was a cheat. Well, I know people that think Messi was a cheat because of... Now, I don't know if this is true or not true. I'm just saying what I was told. Because he took growth hormones or something when he was younger to help him, I don't know, grow clearly in some way. But, yeah, Maradona was a cheat. You're right. He was using drugs. There's no doubt in that. Good Day Podcast. How are you, mate? Welcome in. He thinks it's a good group. Best left back, the Flying Scotsman, Andy Robertson. Exactly, mate. Gotta love Robbo. Gotta love him. So let's have a little chat for a second about the fact that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been called up to Gareth Southgate's England squad for the upcoming internationals. Did I say England? I mean England. I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked and annoyed because I don't like our toys getting broken. And every time we give our toys that are just coming back from injury to international teams, they break our toys. And I don't want their toys getting broken anymore. I like our toys. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is one of my favourite toys that Liverpool have. And I don't want them getting broken. So I'm not happy that Chamberlain's been called up to the England squad. And I'm not happy that Kyle fucking Walker hasn't been called up to the England squad. And yet again, Manchester City get away with having a player called up. Both Trent Alexander-Arnold was called up, along with Joe Gomez and Jordan Henderson. So that's 4 Liverpool players called up to the England team. And I never want to deny these guys the opportunity to play for the country. But at the same time, if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain picks up an injury, we are in trouble. And I don't want him to... I'm sure Liverpool will send him with a fitness regime, and they will talk to the England medical team, and they'll talk to the English coaches and stuff, and they will say he needs to do this, 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 and this, and his recovery should entail this, 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 and this. But at the same time, it's still going to be down to England, and maybe I'm just pessimistic when it comes to this stuff, but I don't want him going yet. I don't see the need for it. Craig, you and Connor always do a great job. Thank you, Domestic Butler. I take all the credit for that. All of it. Not even giving Connor a little bit. I take all of that credit, mate. I pretended for so long that Connor did the thumbnails and all. It's really me. I do everything. Thumbnails, all the digital stuff. I don't even know the names of some of the stuff I'm trying to lie about. Nah, yeah, thank you, mate. We both appreciate that. Jack's Page said Medi would have been Medi. Can't even talk tonight. Why am I even here? Can't even get sentences out. Messi would have been a dwarf, not for those hormones, said Jack's Page. 86 Maradona in the top 2 players ever. That goal against England, not the hand of God one, the other one. If you guys, the younger people, haven't seen the goal, Google Diego Maradona goal against England in the 86 World Cup. Then not the hand of God, the other goal. It was sensational, absolutely sensational. How's Lingard still in the squad? He's like 1 goal in December and no goals or assists since. I don't know, Mark. I have no idea. Yeah, I've no idea. Loads of people just putting the word toys in. Oh, was that an odd thing to say? Sorry. For me, that's kind of normal stupidity. But yeah, as I said, I don't like our toys getting broken. It's another Naby Keita. Oh, mate. Oh. There's too many of our players being rushed back to internationals. We spoke about Naby Keita, Sadio Mane perhaps as well. We've seen it with Mo Salah. Now Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now I know he's been back from injury quite a while, but he's still getting into rhythm and he's still getting used to match fitness. Peter van der Shan said, for me, Ronaldinho, Messi, Maradona were just magic to watch. And for those of you that didn't see Virgil van Dijk's interview after he won the UEFA Men's Player of the Year award, he did credit Ronaldinho as somebody he looked up to growing up. He said he loved the way he played the sport with a smile on his face. Always looked like he was having so much fun. And I love Ronaldinho as well. I absolutely love the guy. Do we play when the international break happens? No, Heather, no. There's no football for about 2 weeks while the internationals are on. Boya said, would have liked to have seen Hamza Chowdhury in the England squad. It must have been close, been outstanding this season. Well, James Maddison got called up, mate, and rightly so, because he's a quality footballer, as I've said before. And do you feel nervous, Anthony, from a perspective of James Maddison? Do you think that at the end of this season there's going to be serious money put down again for one of your players, much like for Slabhead when United stupidly paid you 80 million for him? Do you think clubs will come next summer looking, trying to get James Maddison? Because you've got the whole English thing, you've got the fact that he's used to the Premier League and that he's still improving in that 10. I think a lot of clubs are going to come knocking, Anthony, if I'm being honest, buddy. Yeah, Craig does all the thumbnails and wires and the other stuff, the big buttons and all the flashy things. And yeah, sorry, Connor, I couldn't even lie my way through a sentence properly. What else we got? In Mullingar that they used to go to every weekend and for a lot of the summers, buddy. So spent a lot of time down at Lough Ennel in Westmeath. But thank you for being here with us, buddy. Who do we play first at the Champions League? Ethan, we are away to Napoli, mate, on September the 17th in our first game. Just to run through the fixtures one more time before I move on to the Burnley preview at the weekend. So just to run through them again. Liverpool's Champions League fixtures are as follows. September the 17th, the Reds are away against Napoli. October the 2nd, we're at home to Salzburg. 23rd of October, Liverpool travel over to Belgium to play Genk. Then the fixtures are reversed. November the 5th, we play Genk at home. November 27th, Liverpool entertain Napoli at Anfield, and we finish up with a trip to Austria to play Salzburg on December the 10th. Right, let me just flick around these images a little bit. And where is it? Right. Okay, so let me change. There we go. Boom. Like that. Magic. The screen has changed. And you can see my predicted 11 for the Burnley game. I thought we'd take a little time. We didn't get to do a Burnley preview podcast, so I'm going to do a one-man job of it here. So here's my predicted 11 for the game against Burnley. And I'm going to talk you through why I made these selections as well. And as you guys know and regular watchers know, I'm always wrong. I'm pretty good with the scores, but my selected 11s or starting 11s are never fucking right. So what I've gone for is Adrian in goal, obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip as a centre back partner. I've learnt my lesson about doubting Matip. Robbo at left back, obviously. Now the midfield is every single week one area where I have to explain my decision making, and rightly so. Fabinho has to start. Always got to start. Jordan Henderson, I think, deserves to keep his place as well. And then it was a question of, do we look to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain? Do we look to stick with Gini Wijnaldum? Or do we go with James Milner? And I've gone personally with James Milner because I think we might try and grind that out. And then if we need a bit of magic dust at the end, maybe bring on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or Gini Wijnaldum when legs are tiring. So that was my thought process behind the midfield. Now, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this as well. The front three are the front three. They don't change. So, Mane, Salah, Firmino, nothing new there. And my score prediction, I've gone for a 2-0 win for Liverpool. So, ladies and gents, give me your predicted 11s. Give me your thoughts on my 11, your score predictions, and anything else you want to chat about around the Burnley game. Now was the time to do so. My midfield is too defensive. Yes, mate, we're away against Burnley in the Premier League. Hence why I've gone for such a high work rate midfield. The defensive aspect of it, I suppose it depends how the players set about playing, but I've gone for industry in midfield for this game, which is why Milner's in there instead of Gini Wijnaldum. Haynes said Hendo and Milner. Alex Reddo said 4-0 to the Reds, not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Bassett12 said, who do you think's the most random signing Liverpool have ever made? Mate, we're talking about Burnley right now. We'll get on to the other stuff later on. There's far too many great players in the history of football to just have one go. That's a fair point. I've been to Letterkenny a few times. Somebody else, right? I went for 10 seconds and the layout changed. There you go, Joseph Stalin. Bang, one thing. I told you I was in charge of all the technical stuff and the button pressing and the images and all on here. Crosby has nothing to do with it. Sorry to be picky with your team sheet, but Van Dijk is on the left side of centre-back. What the fuck is your point? Like, literally, I haven't even laid out the 11 and you're bitching about something. I know you said sorry to be picky, but nobody said Van Dijk was left or right. We just listed 11 fucking players, mate. We didn't go in order of positions. I literally just listed 11 players. I mean, if you're being pedantic about it, Firmino doesn't play on the right-hand side of the front three either. He plays through the centre, but you didn't point that one out. There's always somebody that feels they need to be a smart fucker, isn't there? I don't get it, mate. Burnley have well organised defence with Mark Anthony Vieira. There's no such thing as rest. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Mo needs to start. Well, he's in my team there starting, mate, and I agree. The front three all need to start. Casper's gone for a 2-0 win to Liverpool as well. You changed your tune. I asked Milner yesterday and you said not for you. Did I? Honestly don't remember, Mark. But when I sat down and I thought about it today, and I did say I was going to do a team selection last night, so I sat down and thought about it last night and today before I sent the stuff on to Connor. And my instinct would have been to go on with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I understand the Milner thing now when I thought it through. Tire them out maybe, and then bring on Gini or bring on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain or bring on Sheridan Shaqiri if we need to. It's funny because Van Dijk is actually on the right, said Hosto. He's complaining about nothing. Arthur Khan's gone 3-0 win to Liverpool. Dave Sweeney's gone 4-1 to Liverpool. Salah 2, Van Dijk 1 and Mane. I'd like to see a goal for Hendo or Robertson soon. They've both been knocking on the door. Yeah, I'd love to see one of them get on the score sheet soon. If not both of them. Fuck it, be greedy. Craig, we don't have Keita, so I'm with you. Selected Milner, said Mark Anthony Vieira. Yeah, it would have been a great game for Naby actually, Mark. That's a good shout. If he had been fit, available and, ready to go, this definitely would have been a game I would have put Naby Keita in that midfield. What time is the game on Saturday? It kicks off your name at 5:30, buddy, but we'll be starting our watch along at 5 o'clock. Just a reminder, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm taking tomorrow off, so after this stream, the next time I'll get to see you wonderful people is for the game on Saturday. Now just remember, we don't schedule our watch-alongs because we've had issues with copyright infringement before when we schedule watch-alongs. So we will just be going live at 5 o'clock, which is why I always say to people, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you've got the notifications turned on, because on match days like that, we just go live. We don't schedule them, we just go half an hour before kick-off, bang, and we're on. And if you've got the notifications turned on, fingers crossed, because it doesn't always work, fingers crossed, when we go live you'll get that little ping on your phone or your tablet or your laptop. Your 11/9 players are nailed on. The only doubt midfield, maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in. That's it. There's always one or two, Anthony, isn't there? And I agree with you, and the third midfield position is always up for debate. Normally, I would say there could be a debate around the centre-back pairing, but John Matip has just been so damn good lately that it would be sacrilegious of me to not put him in the team. 2-0 to Liverpool to Anthony Davis. Peter Van der Shan said Barnes is on form. Yeah, what? Has he got 4 or 5 goals so far this season? Ashley Barnes, he definitely has been banging them in. Craig Adams reckons 2-0 to Liverpool. Robbo to score first. I like it, mate. I like it. Mark Meehan's gone 2-0. Salah and Mane to score. Yo Tony's gone 3-2 or 4-0. I like the one way or the other there, mate. I like it. Barnes has 13 goals in 18 games. That is pretty impressive, Hosto, isn't it? That is, you know what? Fair play. I need to reevaluate my fantasy Premier League. Actually, Ashley Barnes. Anybody got Football Index open there handy? You can see what Ashley Barnes is going for on Football Index. I did actually pull up some images of some stuff I've done on Football Index because I wanted to just take a second to talk about that as well. I always like to let you know who's gone up and down. So Tammy Abraham is one of the big movers on Football Index. His shares have gone up 12p to £2.75 a share. Kylian Mbappe has gone up in value. Yusuf Poulsen of RB Leipzig, he's gone up as well. Lorenzo Insigne, he's gone up 6p to £1.74 a share. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's another big mover. He's gone up to £1.56 a share. Antoine Griezmann has gone up as well. Memphis Depay has gone up. Aguero has gone up. James Maddison has gone up 5p as well. So yeah, anybody on Football Index, there is a list you can get of the top moving players. Click on that, keep an eye on it, check it, and it will give you the performance of those players as well over a period of time. But yeah, I'd be interested to see Ashley Barnes' value actually. Is he going up or down? And I imagine there's a lot of people transferring him in a Fantasy Premier League as well. Boris Johnson, I'm not even reading out anything that even a fake Boris Johnson account has to say. All of them are Premier League games that he has them in also. Interested. Yeah, so he's banging them in then. Cursed Footy 2019 said, it's me, Matt. I've joined your stream recently, but my prediction are Van Dijk and Firmino with the Salah assist, one, and Hendo assist the other one. Very, very specific, Matt. I like that, mate. Well in. Yeah, Hendo can set up goals. I keep talking about the fullbacks and their delivery from wide areas. Jordan Henderson's no joke as well. He can whip a ball in from that wide right hand side, and we've seen the outside of the foot pass he played through as well recently. He's underrated at times to what he can do in that final third. Jordan said, what's your thoughts on the possible Nike kit deal? As a man with a belly, I find the kits tight and tend to express the love handles. Would love an Adidas deal. Well, Jordan, as another man with a belly here and boobs, a fine pair of man boobs on me, I agree with you. I'm not a massive fan of Nike kits in general. Look at me. You see me most nights on stream, mate. If I'm not wearing a Liverpool shirt, I'm usually wearing something Adidas based. I love Adidas. I'm with you, mate. But it does look like Nike are the front runners for this deal. It looks like Nike are going to be putting down somewhere between 70 and 95 million a year. A lot of rumours about potential 10-year deal. I don't know about that. I don't know about any of this. I'm just, giving you guys stuff that I've read, and I'm sure you guys have all read as well. None of us know for certain what's going to happen. I just want what's best for the football club, Jordan, and if that's Liverpool signing with Nike, and that gives us a lot of potential extra income and maybe opens up some avenues for us to work with Nike athletes going forward, hashtag Mbappe 2020, you never know, mate. I guess, like you, I just want what's best for the football club. I will be in no doubt whatsoever that as soon as the new kit manufacturer comes in, if it's Nike, the prices of the shirts, I would say, are going to go up. Nike shirts generally seem to be more expensive, and New Balance's shirt at £60 this season for the home shirt in England. It's not the worst of them. It could probably be a little bit cheaper, but I think if Nike come in, we're going to see the cost of shirts go up again. And as somebody pointed out to me, I know a lot of you guys out there are parents as well. You've got 3 kits this season, and then you've got 3 sets of training kits, and then you've got the goalkeepers kits, and then you've got all the other bits and pieces. And if you've got kids that want this stuff and you want it yourself, as I do, it gets expensive. And I spoke about the blacked out kit that I ordered, the blacked out shirt I ordered as well. That was £75, and that was from the club store. Like, that was the cost price of the shirt. What's the maximum amount of shares you can get in Footy Index? The honest answer to that, mate, is I do not know at this moment in time. I haven't. I suppose I don't know how big they allow you to invest in it. Yeah, I'll be lying to you, Mark. I couldn't give you an honest answer because I don't know. I'd have to ask them. Casper said Adam Lallana should start. That's a big call, Casper, mate. I would say no, but I mean, it is all just about opinions. Leggy Track said Nike would look nice. It depends, mate. I mean, the Spurs kits are wank. They're absolutely horrible. Again, not having to go with Spurs here because, Nike are the ones making the kits. And I've seen a few decent Nike kits, but overall they look like the same kit rolled out with a few little tweaks to it, a badge stuck on it and put out there. With New Balance, at least at Liverpool, they've put some effort in. The little touches around the Bob Paisley stuff in the kit this year. I've liked what New Balance have done at the football club, so I hope if Nike do become the kit manufacturer that they do things a little bit different and understand that Liverpool is just that little bit different. Then I'm sure they will. I'm absolutely sure that they will. Cursed Footy 2019 said I don't mind staying with New Balance. Nor do I, mate. Not at all. I think, as I said many times, New Balance I think have done a very good job. Jack Spade said, I've been thinking and I think we may play against the Brazilian side in the Club World Cup and find ourselves a super talent. See, I've said this before, mate. Liverpool will be aware of players in South America. I mean, I think was it Claudio Canigia's brother or something like that was working as an agent for us in South America, and we will be eyeing up players. We will have an eye on players. It's not like you or I, mate. It won't be we see this player at a tournament and not know he exists. Liverpool, Barry Hunter and the Liverpool recruitment team will know pretty much, will have a dossier and portfolios on any up and coming players around the world. Loads of football clubs do. I mean, nothing will be a shock to them, is what I'm saying. And I wouldn't say that we'll buy a player because of a couple of good games they play against us in the Club World Cup. It's too reactionary. It would be just wrong. Craig, when your guesstimations, new kit deal confirmation, I haven't got a clue now, mate. I'd be lying to you. I said probably December recently, but then more stuff started coming out, and I thought maybe we'd hear an announcement sooner on the kit deal. I genuinely don't know. So what seems to be coming out of Liverpool and being briefed to the media is that, well, I presume it's being briefed to the media, is that they're still in negotiations with all parties and that nothing has been confirmed yet. What was it somebody said about Mbappe and the Nike money? Where's that comment gone? Where's the diet chav? Always doubting me, always. Here she is, a little beautiful mwah. Do you know what? I'd love to fill 60 up with diet chav. I don't want to ruin the inside of it. Maybe I could line it, but I would love to and get a big ass fucking straw and stick it in it. I bought the third kit for £55 from Mike Ashley, said Joseph Stalin. It is concerning, isn't it, mate? Like you've said, that you want to buy your kits from the club because you want to give the club that little bit of extra money. But if you've got a family and if money is tight, which it is for most people, and you can save yourself £5 by going to Sports Direct and you're buying 2 or 3 kits, I can understand why people would do it. I always try to buy them from the club store where possible. But there have been times where there's just better offers. And if you're buying 2 or 3 kits and getting numbers on the back of them or little bits and pieces, these things can add up and you can save money at times. So, yeah, it is terrible when you can buy it cheaper somewhere else. It is frustrating at times. Stevie Richards reckons it'll go to £70 if Nike make her shirts. Virgil deserves the UEFA award. Indeed he does, mate. Absolutely. 100% deserves the award. Right, ladies and gents, keep your thoughts coming in on the Burnley game because don't forget this will be the last stream before we have the watch along on Saturday. Connor said that he'd love Adidas. Mate, I'm with you. You know I'm with you. Imagine Adidas making Liverpool kits and we could go and buy those retro candy shirts with the Adidas badge on them. Oh, be porn, mate. It would be just beautiful. I would be wearing nothing but retro Adidas kits. Peter Van der Shan said Hitachi coming up with a kit deal. They were a sponsor, mate. They did make the jerseys. Do they even still make electrical products, Hitachi? I think Hitachi were the first sponsor of a shirt in England, I think. And Liverpool. I think Liverpool were the first club to have a shirt sponsor. Divock said, I'm going to buy the home retro 89 shirt for next season and keep it for a couple of seasons to save money. Good show. I have Well, I've got a few retro shirts. I've got the 2005 one that I got from 3 Retro. Shout out to those guys. If you are looking for any of the retro shirts and that is your thing, you can do no better than going to 3 Retro or Score Draw. Yeah, the guys over there, they second to none. They're top of the tree when it comes to retro kits like that. So if you are going to buy one, mate, do check out Score Draw, 3 Retro, either of those sites. I'll probably clean the inside of 60. I've done it before. Stephen, mate, use Coke to clean metal and stuff. I get where you're coming from. I just don't want to harm her. But his Diet Coke is putting it... If I can put it in my fucking stomach, mate, and not worry about it, why should I be concerned putting it in a trophy? It's mad, isn't it? Mark Meehan said the kit was £75 sterling with Robertson was €100 here, so I bought it over there, the store doing the printing. Yeah, one great thing about going to the Liverpool store to get the name and numbers on the shirts is you can get the Liverpool lettering, and the Liverpool numbering and lettering is always better than the Premier League one. It's class. Stephen Richard said I paid £55 for the white top. Is that the away kit, Stephen? Put the Diet Chaff in the cup and get an extra long straw. That way you can drink it. Yes, Joanne. I like your thinking. Yeah, Connor. Hitachi Aero Company that made electrical stuff. I don't know if they're still going. Maybe they are. Somebody probably can let me know in the chat. And Paul Turner said, yes, Hitachi were the first sponsors on the shirt. I just remember seeing an image with Peter Thompson on... with Tomo on the sitting there with a lady and both of them with the shirt on. I think that and he had a big perm, a big blonde perm. Have you heard about Enrique's daughter? We touched on it earlier on in the stream, mate. Somebody let us know. It is so sad to hear of her passing, and as I said, nothing but love to lose Enrique and his family. I can't imagine how that must feel. Joseph Stalin said, Craig, I'm lying on my bed, stretching my tired legs out. Are you jealous? No. You relax, mate. Enjoy yourself. Get some rest. I'm glad that I can keep you entertained while you're having a bit of a relaxation time. Just got in, loving the draw, said Callum Talks Prem. I still can't forget, mate, the first time I seen your name and I said Callum Talks Sperm. It's mad how the mind works when you're reading stuff and you just glance at it, isn't it? It isn't a bad group at all, Callum. For those coming in that don't know about the group, which I'm sure you do, just a reminder, Liverpool were drawn in Group E and will be playing Napoli, Salzburg and Genk of Belgium. Is Keita starting? No, he's not ready. He won't be fit until at least after the international break, Cursed Footy 2019. Unfortunately, he still has a bit of a hip injury. Hitachi are still going. Mad bastards. Fair play to them. What do you think about the Bobby Duncan situation? We covered it quite extensively last night. I don't really have much to say about Bobby Duncan because, to be fair to him, he's kept fairly silent throughout all this. My issue has only been with the agent and the way he took on Liverpool Football Club and tried to portray the club as bullies and tried to make the club look like dickheads, had a go at Michael Edwards. It's not the way a professional should go on. So, yeah, fuck the agent. But Bobby Duncan, I just want the best for the lad, whatever the best is for him. Yeah, not going to say anything bad about an 18-year-old kid. Do you know what I mean? He's still making his way in the world. What time is the draw for the Emerald Cup? I've no idea, Peter Van der Chance. I didn't look at it. It was actually fun. For those of you that weren't with us for the watch along earlier on, Mark Goldbridge of the United Stand popped into our chat, and yeah, fair play to him. He popped over to just enjoy the draw with us, I suppose, and it was nice to catch up with him. When is Kloppo's press conference? It's usually on a Friday, Scotty, before the game. Does Liverpool wear the blackout kit or not? No, they don't wear it at all, mate. It is just weird. They just released this kit. I think 3 years ago maybe was the first one. Yeah, just an all black blackout kit. But they don't wear it ever now. Is the agent Rudiger's agent? He was in the photograph when Rudiger was signing for Chelsea. He was there. He also say to Berahino. He worked on Kolo Touré for one of his transfers as well. I think there was a few other bits and pieces that I can't remember off the top of my head. Curse Footy said, proper good if I couldn't get the blackout kit. As I said earlier on in the stream, mate, I don't know where in the world you are, but even if you are in England, in Ireland, Lifestyle Sports, so lifestyle, all one word, Lifestyle Sports, earlier on this afternoon, they were still selling the blackout kits in large, extra large, and I don't know if it was small or medium, but it was one of those two sizes. So do check those out, Lifestyle Sports. And maybe the lifestyle sports could ship it over. I don't know, but do check it out if you're still looking for that kit. Curtis Dalton said New Balance are good. Even Celtics kit looks brilliant. I actually don't like Celtics kit, mate. I've got to be honest. I've liked a lot of New Balance kits, and I've liked some of the Celtic kits over the years, but I'm not a fan of this season's one. But that's just a personal thing. Anthony Harris said the Europa League draw is Friday at noon. Noon. Do you know what I mean? Not even 5. Just here, fuck off. It's at noon. Deal with it, lads. Man United said Chelsea versus Ajax would be a good game. Two very good young attacking teams. Yeah, there's been some really interesting ties come up for this Champions League group stage, mate. And yeah, I'm going to look forward to watching some of the games when Liverpool aren't playing. Thoughts on the champions of Europe on the kits, good or weird? I'm not a fan, Mark. No, not a fan of having Champions of Europe 6 or anything on the back of the kits. Personally, I'm not a fan, but I would never tell anybody what to wear or not to wear, mate. It's a personal choice. If you were getting it to put it at home in a frame or something on the wall, maybe, but I wouldn't buy it, put it that way. It wouldn't be my choice. Are you going to do any phone-ins over the season? We've done them, Peter, mate. We've done them for every league game so far. We had Douglas James Horn on after the last game. I had Stephen Richards and Dave on. Yeah, so we're doing them throughout the season. But if you want to, Peter, if you want to come on, mate, just email me and we'll sort it out. No problem whatsoever. Haynes said his size is extra medium. I like it, mate. I'm a slim extra large myself. Curse Footy said, I'm saying if Liverpool do get into the final for the Champions League, I think we'll win. I think you got to make us one of the favourites. I mean, there's probably 6 teams that you could say realistically could look at winning the Champions League. Liverpool, City, Juventus, Barcelona, maybe Real Madrid at a push. Am I forgetting anybody huge here? I don't think Bayern Munich or Atletico. You never know. You just never know with Atletico. Oh, look at you robbing me jokes and all, Crosby. Connor's fat, but he identifies as skinny. He's trans slender. He's robbing my joke that I robbed off me missus. Curtis Dalton's gone 3-0 on Saturday. I can't and don't want to see anything but 3 points. Mate, I don't want to go into the international break without anything but 3 points either. I'm right with you. Yeah, definitely with you. As an Arsenal fan, I missed the Champions League. Yeah, well, you were spoiled in a good way well, I say spoiled in a good way. You could hardly be spoiled in a well, you could be spoiled in a bad way, as in that food's spoiled. But yeah, mate, for a long time under Arsene Wenger, every single year, Champions League. But football, as our good friend Farrell says, football is cyclical, and United, Arsenal, Chelsea are going through a bit of a change at the minute, and Liverpool, Manchester City have pushed a little bit ahead. But you know, you're on the way back. It looks like you have a decent manager. I'm trying to be nice. I really don't give a shit about Arsenal, but you're a nice guy, so I'm trying to be nice towards you. Peter Van der Shan said Dortmund at 40-1 worth a punt. Not for me, but look, it is hard to tell. I mean, Julian Brandt and Torgan Hazard added to that squad with Jadon Sancho on the up and up as well. I mean, you never know. You just never know. If you could rate every team in the English Premier League kit, what looks good? Arsenal win. Hands down this year, mate, for me. Arsenal's 3 kits are gorgeous this season. I really have to give credit to Adidas for that. I think probably a lot of people would agree. Yeah, their 3 kits are sensational this season. Who else kit-wise? Wolves. I don't like Wolves kit as much as I like last season's one. I thought that kit was nice. I like our home kit for this season. I really like the pinstripes. United's isn't great. Spurs, terrible. Chelsea's, I don't like what they tried to do. I know what they tried to do, but I don't like the way it came out. Any other decent kits in there? Leicester's is alright, actually. Leicester's isn't too bad. Connor said Arsenal will win the Europa this year. Interesting. Over United, perhaps? And Wolves, I'd be interested to see how Wolves get on in the Europa after them qualifying for the group stage. And genuinely happy for them. Would you rather win the Champions League or the Premier League? For 1 year only, the Premier League. And once we get that monkey off our back, mate, every other year, it's the Champions League for me. That's the biggest trophy. But we have got to win the fucking Premier League. So at this moment in time, I'd say the Premier League's the most important trophy to me. But after we do that once, it's back to the Champions League. I love the European Cup. Nothing gets me more hyped than Anfield on a European night. And no matter what happens in the league, trying to replicate that feeling of the Barcelona game at Anfield, where we were watching it on here together, I don't know. It would take a lot for any league game to ever cause that much emotion. I just love the European Cup, mate. I love the Champions League, but we do need to win the Premier League just to get the monkey off our back. Other than that, as I said, Champions League all the way for me. Biggie said, I love Arsenal's kits. They are nice. They really are nice. Dortmund will beat Barca at home, said Mark. Meehan, Mr. A said, I like Inter's blue away kit. Leicester's pink away kit is nice, said Connor. It is nice, yep, I do like that one as well. I like any kit that has gold in it. I generally like, and Leicester's gold stripes on the blue Adidas kit looks nice. Chelsea's kit looks like a training kit, said Cursed Footy. What else we got? Yeah, got to win the Premier League, said Andrew Childerhouse. You have to, yeah, really do. Be greedy, Craig. You want both league and cup, said Happily Eggs. What constitutes a good season for everybody this year? Like, if I was to say to you now, it's the end of May and everything is done, what would you say is a good season for Liverpool? For me, we've already got the Super Cup. I want us to win the World Club Championship and then one major trophy after that. Obviously, in order, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup. But I want us to win one domestic trophy this year. I'd love the Premier League, obviously. If we ended the season with the Premier League, the Super Cup and the World Club Cup, I'd be a very happy man. A very, very happy man. Eric Scahill said, or Scahill, is it Scahill or Scahill, said Wolves to win the Premier League, or the Europa League, excuse me. It's a big ask, mate. I don't think they will, but it's a big ask. But I'll tell you what, Molineux was rocking for that Torino game. I watched it earlier on. Yeah, the place was rocking. What teams will we be facing in the World Club Cup? I'm not sure yet, Curtis. I don't know if... we come in at the semi-final stage, so even before that, there will be a round before we play. So I don't think we know yet. Chelsea kit looks like the seat of a bus. Good shout, Subi. It does. It looks like... Definitely. Yes, mate, you've nailed that one. Just watched the podcast with Craig Johnson on it. He's had some life, ups and downs. I don't know... He was the brains behind the Predator boot, wasn't he, Craig Johnson? I don't know too much about his life. Other than he's Aussie, played for Liverpool. After that, I don't really know too much about the man. Where was the pod you listened to, though, Greg? Just in case I ever get a chance to have a listen. Callum said Premier League, Champions League, UEFA, or Premier League, UEFA Super Cup, FA Cup, World Club Cup. Greedy, Callum. I like it, mate. Premier League or Champions League is a must, said Lux. Happily Egg said, I'll be happy if we finish above City. That means you're winning the league, probably. Peter van der Shan said Premier League and the World Club Championship. Joanne just wants cups galore. I like it, Joanne. Not being greedy, just lots of silver shiny stuff. I can get on board that, Joanne. Stephen Booker said preferably League and the Champions League, but would take the League and the FA Cup. Shay Trainer said Premier League of the Champions League and the World Club Cup. Yeah, we all want that, don't we? We want the World Club Cup because, as I said before, it's a competition Liverpool have never won. We'd be the first English club to hold the Champions League, the Super Cup and the World Club Cup simultaneously. Now, as I said before, I ain't calling that a treble, but it would be nice to be the first to do it. Jack's Page said, Craig, we're going to win the sextuple, like we've won it 6 times. Can you imagine? It's not going to happen, but could you imagine a fucking clean sweep? They think we're unbearable now. Can you imagine that? My God. Atletico's light blue away kit is sexy, said Divock. I'll send you the link. I appreciate that, Greg, mate. Thank you. Watch the Craig Johnson video. You must watch it. It's effing brilliant, said Anthony Harris. Subi wants to go balls out and win everything. What's Brian say? The only thing that matters is the league. Everything else is just noise. But then Brian comes back, Mr. Morrissey, and said, this year, I mean. And I get you, Brian. And I'm with you on that. It's just like winning the Champions League final was massive because we had to get that losing streak off our back in cup finals. So to get that done, then to go and get the Super Cup done, it becomes a habit. Winning becomes a habit. And collecting trophies and that winning mentality, it's a good place to be. So yeah, more trophies. What's your predictions for week 4 in the Premier League? Right, let me get the fixtures up. I'm actually going to do this for once because I know every week people ask me and I never go through them. So I'm going to do it for you guys this week because, let's be fair about it. Right, Southampton against United. I'm going to go an away win. I'm going to get United to win that game 2-1 or 3-1. Chelsea will beat Sheffield United at home. I'm going to go 2-0. Palace Villa draw 1-1. Leicester Bournemouth, that'll be an entertaining game. I think Leicester will beat them 3-1. City against Brighton, could be fucking anything to be fair. Let's go 4-0 to Manchester City. Newcastle against Watford, I think 1-0. Newcastle win, maybe. They could eke out a 1-0 win. West Ham against Norwich City. I go for a draw, a 2-2 draw there maybe. Burnley against Liverpool. Obviously I'm going for Liverpool to win that one 2-0. Right, let me get Sunday's fixtures up. 1 second, because I've got to go on to the next month. Right, so Sunday, Everton against Wolves. Wolves coming off the back, both clubs coming off the back of Europa League midweek. I'll go a draw on that one as well, maybe 1-1. And then Arsenal against Spurs in the North London derby, 2-2 for me in that one. So I've done it. For once, you asked me to do it every week, and for once I've actually gone through the fixtures. The North London derby is going to be a game I'm going to actually enjoy watching on Sunday. No problem, Greg, mate. Thank you for the information on the podcast. Mark me and said Brighton are 30-1 to beat City. I know how good City are, but those odds are mad. They are mad, mate. But I still wouldn't stick a fiver on it. I forgot I'm supposed to be going on a podcast on Sunday as well. I'm supposed to be going on the Cop On podcast. I completely forgot about that. I better put that into my little schedule. So right, what have we got coming up over the next week for you guys on the channel? So Saturday we've got the watch along starting at 5 o'clock. We'll follow that with our post-match show straight away, so we'll be going straight into that. On Sunday you'll get a late night agenda with myself. Connor's away for the weekend, so Sunday I'm going to be doing the late night agenda. Monday, no content on Monday. I'm going to take off Monday and Tuesday, I think, next week, but I'll go through that in more detail as the week goes on. Daniel Williams said, Craig, did you see when Everton played Lincoln, the Lincoln fans were singing Your City is Red? Yeah, just like Lincoln, Your City is Red. I seen that, and one of them stood up actually and held up a Liverpool shirt. When will Alisson be back? It must be soon. Shay, I think it's after the international break, mate. I don't want to say for certain, but I'd be confident he'd be back after the international break. Arnav said, we are playing West Ham on December 21st, but that's also the day for the World Club Cup. Does anybody know what's happening there? I don't. And I want to give a shout out to somebody, and I don't want to name them because I don't want to embarrass them, but somebody emailed us with a very generous offer of 2 tickets for myself and Connor to attend basically any game that we want to this season, any home game. And it looks like we're going to try and go to one in March or April. So I just want to say thank you to that person for the kind email and the kind offer, and I don't want to give out their name because they did so privately, but I just want them to know if they're watching. Thank you so much. I will be emailing you back later on from your latest email, but the offer is so kind, and you've no idea how much it means to Connor and I, because not getting to a game last season for the first year in my adult life was horrible. So thank you so much, and yeah, I will hopefully be taking you up on your very kind offer. It is very nice, Peter van der Schaans. It is really nice. Yeah, very, very kind of them. Right, anything else, ladies and gents, or shall we finish up early tonight? If there's anybody that hasn't subscribed, don't forget, please do hit that button. It's a quiet stream tonight, which is good. If you ever wanted to get your comments in, have at it. I'm just looking through my notes to see if there's anything I've forgotten about. No, I think I've gone through everything, which is great. Any reason you didn't get over last year? Couldn't get tickets, Mark. Couldn't get tickets to the game. That's it. Only reason. Couldn't get tickets that weren't, astronomical astronomical tour company prices, which I just refuse to fucking pay because I paid it for too many years. It's just getting out of hand, mate. So, cost price tickets or anything near cost price tickets, we'll jump on planes, we'll head over. Obviously the more notice we get, the better, because you can get cheaper flights. I'd say don't even ask about Alisson until October, and if you hear anything before, it's a bonus. I would flip that. I would think Alisson might be back sooner, but I have a feeling with Naby, it could be that kind of way, Joanne. Jack's Theory said, just joined. How are you, mate? Welcome. Great to have you with us. Thank you for joining. Hope you subscribe, Jack. If you haven't, buddy, please do hit that button. Any update on Bobby Duncan's scenario? Nothing other than he's added the Liverpool information back into his social media accounts, mate. And his agent has closed down his Twitter account. After that, nothing new really. What got me to support Liverpool? I said this a few times on the stream. It's a strange one. It was a loss. It was the game against Arsenal that Arsenal won the league at Anfield, winning 2-0. That's the game that actually got me to support Liverpool. As mad as that is, it was a loss that got me to support Liverpool. I was just mesmerised by the cop and the noise, and yeah, it's weird, I know, but it wasn't a win. It wasn't seeing them lifting a trophy. It was off the back of a loss. I know the feeling. Luckily, I'm going to the Man City game in November. Nice one, Darren. Delighted for you, buddy. Well in. Happy days. Good game to go to as well. Did you see Linfield nearly qualified for the Europa? I did, Mark. They lost on away goals. 2-1. 4-4 in aggregate, and I think they lost on away goals. So very close. Was it Krasnodar? Was that who they were playing? Or was it Karabag? Krasnodar, Karabag. I can't remember which one, but yeah, 4-4 in aggregate. Very close indeed. Stephen Booker said 1989, I was at that game. Yeah, that was the one, mate. That Arsenal game. It's mad to support the club from the back of a loss like that, but that's what made me fall in love with the club. What was the first game I went to? Oldham. I went over with my football club. I was probably 10. And we went to a Tranmere game, and then we went to the Liverpool game, and Liverpool played Oldham. And Rushy scored. That's all I remember about the game. I don't even remember the score of the game. I just remember that Rush scored. That's it. That's all I remember. I've been subbed since you're on 7k, said Jack. Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Sorry, you just said you joined. I thought it was your first time. And I'm terrible. I should remember your name, Jack. I do apologise, mate. Morning from Australia, said Steve Waller. How are you, sir? Welcome. Great to have you in. My mind's always blown, mate, when we get people from Australia, New Zealand, or America, or Malaysia, or wherever popping in, just to think that people that far in that neck of the woods, mate. Yeah, it is fucking mad. It is absolutely mad. Sorry, I'm just trying to check something here. 1 second. I want to just see. Where is it gone? Oh, I thought it was somebody else. Good morning to you, Steve. Anyway, how are you, sir? And Rod as well. I should be getting up soon, Rod, for your coffee and croissant. Good morning to you, mate. Divock Origi said Swansea 4-3 in 2014 when we finished second. 2 for Hendo and 2 for Sturridge. Was that your first game, mate? Darren Neal said that's similar to my first game. Was that the game when Benfica knocked us out? That was my wife's first and only trip, Darren. We lost 2-0. I think Samau scored for Benfica. Yeah, that was the only game my wife's been to Anfield for, because I just classed her as a jinx after Benfica won. That, and she's not really into football, to be fair. And my daughter's first game, we beat Sunderland. I think it was 2-0. Lucas hasn't had his first game yet, so I'm looking forward to bringing him over at some point. You're connecting Reds fans from all across the world. Good man. I hail from San Diego, California. Wow. Definitely got to get to Cali someday, Joshua. I've been saying it for quite a while. I've done Florida so often. I want to do California, and then I want to do Texas as well when I get to the States. But welcome, Joshua. Thank you for being with us, mate, as always, and appreciate the support. And it is a pleasure to chat to Reds from around the world. That's what we built the channel for, as community, and I love it. I absolutely love being on here talking to people from far-flung places, and not that California's far-flung place, but it's a long way from Ireland, buddy. And to be able to be on here chatting with you, it's a pleasure. Thank you. What else was there? Craig will make America great again. Look, I've made no secret. My ambition is to move my family to America. I've said that many, many times from almost day one I met you guys on this stream. It's always been my ambition. Whatever I do in my life, wherever I go, Anfield Agenda will be part of it and will be still here. But yeah, I want to live in America. I've made no secret of that. So fingers crossed someday I get sorted out, get a job sorted out, get health insurance sorted out, get a visa, and we can move over there. You got to have these dreams and aspirations in life, or what's the point? May never happen, but I'm going to keep pushing to try and make it happen. From South Africa. Wow. Is it? I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name, mate, because I don't want to insult you by getting it wrong. But Dichago is your surname, I think. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us, mate. South Africa, America in the chat tonight, Australia in the chat tonight. I know we've somebody that watches. I'm sure they watch as well in Malaysia. It's beautiful. So many wonderful people coming together for a love of the football club. And then this bald Irish idiot on here connecting people. I love it. It's such a pleasure. It's mad. I mean, I often moan about social media and that it isn't really bringing people together. Well, in this case, it really, really is. Come to Portland. That's Oregon, isn't it, Rudra? If memory serves me correct. I've never even considered it, mate. I've never even looked into it. But I think it is Oregon. They've got a big Liverpool fan base there, a nice one. Not having that, Craig. He'll be streaming at 2:30 in the morning. No, it won't be. I'd still make sure that I look after our biggest listenership or viewership all the way from Cortown to Dandy. Just, mate, you could nearly hit my house with a stone if you're down in Cortown, pal. That is not too far away at all. Used to live in Cortown, actually, before we moved to Gorey. Craig, what's your favourite goal Liverpool ever scored? The Gerrard goal against Olympiacos was... I just remember feeling like it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. That goal will always be special for me. I was actually in my bedroom on my own watching it. What age was I? It was 2005, so 15 years ago. I would have been 23? 22, 23. Yeah, that goal will always stand out for me. Really, really special goal. Just a shame that it's tied with that gobshite Andy Gray's commentary, which was actually quite good commentary, but as a human being, not a fan of his. Will you wear the blacked out kit on a stream? 100%, mate. I will be wearing that shit when it comes, trust me. Not one of these people that will be keeping it up to hope it gains in value. Nah, that tag will be coming off and I'll be wearing it. I thought it was going to be here. Originally they told me it would be here tomorrow, so I thought I'd have it for the game on Saturday, but yeah, I'll definitely wear it in the stream, mate. 100%. Would you bring your son Connor to America? Nah, fuck him. I've said it to him. I said, what if the channel got really big, mate, and we ended up having an office and moving to America? Would you be willing to do it? You know, I think he would. Portland, Maine too, but Oregon is the one most folk think of. Well, yeah. Is it Oregon? Is it the right one? But I didn't know there was Portland and Maine as well. There you go, Brian. Always educate me, buddy. Roger said, Roger from Belfast is a Manchester United fan, but respect the show. Thank you, Roger, mate. I've said this many times. Belfast is my favourite city to go and visit in Ireland. It is where myself and my wife go whenever we get a chance for a weekend away. We used to tie it in and go to comedy shows in God, what was the name of the venue? At Queen's University, underneath the Students' Union at Queen's University. I know it's gone now. I think they're building more student accommodation there, but what was the name of the venue? Somebody will let me know here. It was amazing. It was such a cool place to go to. We went to see Reginald D. Hunter there. I think the Anfield Rap were one of the last people to play there. Mandela Hall, was that it? Yes, Mandela Hall. That's the name of it. Love it, mate. Love Belfast as a city. Scott Dickey said, I'm from Hamilton in Scotland. Do you know, honestly, hand on heart, mate, I've never had the urge to go visit Scotland. I don't know why. Same about New York. I've never had the urge to go visit New York, but I've no reason for either. Like, I've nothing against either city. They never jumped out as an appeal to me as somewhere to go. That's near me. I live in Lisburn. I used to go out with a girl from Lisburn, mate, and I don't know if you'll know this place, but St. Paul's... No, it wasn't Lisburn, it was Lurgan. Sorry, I'm getting it wrong. It was St. Paul's Place, Lurgan, County Armagh. So I got that completely wrong, Darren, sorry. Who do I think should win the Ballon d'Or? Virgil van Dijk, mate, come on. You know, he's just been named Europe's best player. You might as well go and make him absolutely Europe's best player. Make him the world's best player. Yeah, Virgil van Dijk for me, hand on heart. I'm not just saying that because he's a Liverpool player. Other years I would say Messi or Ronaldo, and be honest about it, but genuinely Virgil van Dijk. Roger said, respect mate, being to Cortown is a holiday awesome place. It's yeah, I think a lot of Irish people will have memories of Cortown and going there for their holidays when they were younger. Rosslare probably would have been more where I would have gone from Dublin down on holidays when I was younger in Wexford, but I always knew I'd end up living in Wexford somehow. I don't know why. I said it to my mother when I was younger. I always knew I'd end up living in Wexford. When's the Ballon d'Or? I think somebody said to me it's December, January time now, but don't quote me on that. Bernadette said my cousin moved to Hamilton from Liverpool years ago. He's a Scottish accent. That must be interesting. That accent. Whew. Yeah, that must be it. There definitely must be need for some translation at times there. Christ, I'd love Mbappe, said Jack's Page. Wouldn't we all, mate? Wouldn't we all? Right, ladies and gents, look, I'm going to call it a night because it's a quiet stream. I'm exhausted because it's been a long day because we've done the watch along of the draw earlier on as well. Don't forget, no stream tomorrow, but Saturday. If I get a chance tomorrow, I might try and do a bite-sized agenda. Now, don't hold me to that. If I get a chance, I will. Other than that, Saturday, 5 p.m. Don't forget, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you for the game on Saturday. The Reds travelling to Burnley before we head off on the international break. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gents. Just to reiterate what we've went through tonight, Liverpool have been drawn to face Napoli, Salzburg and Genk in the Champions League. The ties are September the 17th, we're away against Napoli. October the 2nd, at home against Salzburg. October 23rd, the Reds travel to Genk to play Genk. November the 5th, Liverpool are at home to Genk. Then November 27th, Liverpool are at home to Napoli. And we finish up with a trip to Austria to play Salzburg on December the 10th. Virgil van Dijk has been named the greatest player in Europe, the UEFA European Player of the Year. He also won the Defender of the Year. Alisson Becker won the Goalkeeper of the Year. Frankie de Jong won the Midfield of the Year. And Lionel Messi won the Forward of the Year. What else have we talked about tonight for those coming in right at the end? Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been called up to Gareth Southgate's England squad. He'll be joined by Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez and Jordan Henderson. And that's about it. As you can see from the image, that's my 11 for the Burnley game. I'm going for a 2-0 win. I will talk to you wonderful people on Saturday. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones you love them. And up the motherfucking Reds.